I want to point out here this subculture that values that we hold and that are really important to us may not be the same values that are held as important to others. And so what we see is that often, particularly in the United States in these inner cities, that value systems of that we might see are not there because the kids lack the legitimate ability to achieve those successes. So their successes are around, I'm tough, I can win at a fight, or I'm a good gambler, or I'm able to hold my liquor or my drugs. This is consistent with the research of Simon Harding out of London, where he talks about the street casino, right? I'm going to show you three maps in the next few slides. These are all showing the concentration of gangs within geographical neighborhoods. The first is Chicago, the second is London, I believe, and the third is Los Angeles. But you can see how these geographical blocks are going to have gang territory attached to them, and these smaller areas are going to have subcultures that the gangs are working through and recruiting from. If I was to go back and do my doctoral thesis again, I would probably have engaged in much more of a debate and discussion with my supervisors over what theory I would have based my work on. I believe in rational choice theory, and I believe that in British Columbia, particularly the Lower Mainland, our people engage in gangs and organized crime for profit. It's commodity based. It's not neighborhood based. It's not about protecting your hood. It's about protecting your ability to sell drugs and to make money and to make considerable amounts of money. And I'm gonna explain that to you in the next couple of slides about just the sheer amount of money that can be made here, right? All right, it's really simple. You buy cocaine in through the Mexican cartels, and you purchase it anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000. If you ship it yourself and you get it into British Columbia, it's worth $45,000 to $50,000. How we do that is, for many years we were um, producing large quantities of marijuana, and we were exporting that marijuana into the United States to the tune of, if you trust Jeff Pierce's numbers, to the tune of $8.2 billion per year. A population base of 4.2 million people, and we export $8.2 billion of marijuana into the United States every year. We have one of the largest um, borders that is open borders with the United States, and that gives the opportunity for people that you're going to see in the next slide, like Clay Rouge, to export marijuana through tunnels, helicopters, hidden compartments, and trucks, whatever it may be. And so marijuana is going down to the United States, and cocaine and firearms are coming back to Canada. When one wonders why Vancouver, not Seattle, not Los Angeles, both ports on the Pacific coast of North America, large ports, and I'm not to suggest that drug trafficking doesn't occur out of those, but let's consider a few factors. First and foremost is that um, we have no national ports police anymore. Seattle has a port police with 108 police officers. The Vancouver Police Department has 2 patrol boats. The Seattle Police Department has 7. We closed the Vancouver Coast Guard Station. The U.S. Coast Guard Station out of Seattle has over 100 boats, 22 clippers, over 15 helicopters slash aircraft, and they're armed, and they have the authority to board ships when they need to. CBSA searches approximately 3% of containers coming in of the 1.5 million containers coming into Vancouver Port every year, and they search almost nothing going out. So we see our marijuana and our cocaine distribution is booming here in British Columbia. And as far as the cocaine trade goes, if we buy a kilo of cocaine, even if we pay Vancouver price, so we don't deal with the potential loss at Homeland Security, we don't deal with CBSA. We simply buy it at wholesale in Vancouver for 50,000 kilos, and we put 10 kilos on a bus, and we do that twice a month. Um, that results in a profit in Toronto, just crossing Toronto on a Greyhound bus. Minimal likelihood of being stopped by the police, minimal likelihood of being searched. You don't cross any borders that require any kind of identification or any pause for things to be searched. And it's $65,000 a kilo there. So $50,000 purchased here, $65,000 there, 10 kilos done twice a month. That's $300,000 profit with minimal risk. So we talk about rational choice and economic theory. Yeah, there's a calculation to be made of, I can make this much money with very little risk associated to it. And so I think that some of our gangsters have gotten very wealthy by doing this calculation. So further to that, if you can take that cocaine and you have the means to get it to Australia, you're going to take your 50,000 and you're probably going to double it, because cocaine in Australia is anywhere between $100,000 to $120,000 wholesale, and if you can get it to Japan, you're looking anywhere between $180,000 to $200,000. So this puts Vancouver in a very lucrative position within the international drug trade, and that's one of the reasons that I would suggest that our gangsters are different than we see in other places.